Well, let's return now to one of our top stories of the day, as North Korea has again drawn international condemnation by conducting another missile test. And to discuss this further, let's go back to our guest, Sreeram Chaulia, Dean of the Jindal School of International Affairs. Mr. Chaulia, thanks for holding the line for us there. Now, the word from Washington is enough is enough. Do you think it's time to take action against North Korea?
I think Kim Jong-un is calculating that he can call Donald Trump's bluff. He believes that the Americans cannot really credibly attack North Korea because the North Korean propaganda machine believes that it's not like Syria or it's not like Libya, which gave up their nuclear weapons. They take pride in their militaristic possessions of nuclear weapons and what looks like up to medium-range ballistic missiles. And so I think they are taunting and, in a way, provoking Trump to do what he has threatened to do, which is to use military force, launch maybe a missile or a preemptive strike on North Korea, and to see for themselves and to see for himself what the consequence will be. I think they are trying to push the limits. It looks like the timing is to send a message of defiance that no matter how many aircraft carriers you send, no matter how many ring fences you make around me with your allies, at the end of the day, I'm going to continue developing my missile and nuclear weapons programs, come what may. I think it's very unfortunate that they have to do this, but it looks like they are trying to negotiate from some position of strength vis-a-vis the Americans and even vis-a-vis the Japanese and the South Koreans. So while they have a conducive climate in South Korea now with a liberal regime willing to offer rapprochement, unfortunately Kim Jong-un has gone the other way, where he believes that the more he provokes and the more he will get away with things, because he believes that even China cannot stop them anymore, although China has been warning them against. So I think he's testing the waters, how far he can go with all these players in the region.
What's interesting about this latest test is how the US has said the missile posed a threat to Russia, and that's something which Moscow doesn't seem so convinced about. Why do you think the two sides have conflicting accounts about this missile test?
I think the North Koreans have not developed precision-guided missiles yet. I think they're working their way up gradually through trial and error. I don't think they can direct the flow of a missile exactly where they want to yet. So it looks like a short-range missile that they have tested and fired into the Sea of Japan. It's just that usually they go towards Japan, but now this time they have fallen closer to Russian shores. But I don't think it's intended. Russia is used to be a member of the six-party talks during the previous liberal regimes until 2008, what was called the Sunshine Policy at the time. And now it looks like the new South Korean dispensation wants to resume Sunshine Policy. So Russia will obviously be a stakeholder in the negotiations whenever, if at all they start, if Kim Jong-un wants them. But right now it looks like, it's a defiant and a stubborn resistance that North Korea is putting up. And they're calculating that nobody can really touch them because they've got already proven nuclear as well as ballistic missile capabilities, and therefore they can get away with it. But I think some coalition has to be formed of all like-minded parties, including China, to try and restrain this from getting worse. And I think to some extent, the Americans also have to step back, because they have been also taunting Kim Jong-un and warning him in a way that, it's like a red rag to the bull. Already it's a very militaristic regime, and if you try to, poke them in the eye, they're going to come back roaring. So that's what is happening right now with these missile tests.
OK, Sreeram Chaulia, Dean of the Jindal School of International Affairs, thank you for sharing your insight on this matter. Coming up next, the conclusion.